Hello, you. It's me. And it's been a while since I have talked about Amberlynn Reid. And honestly, that was on purpose. Because she's turned out to be more of a disgusting and despicable creep than I had ever known. In fact, I really put two and two together while watching the Ankles Big Cherry Retro Reacts, because I didn't see Amber during Crystal or Destiny era. I didn't start until 7 months into her relationship with Beck. So, as awful as Amber treated Beck, and that's awful, and as awful as she treated her beautiful pets, she was still the interesting train wreck that I was willing to watch. But seeing in Destiny era the young Libby, who was 15 at the time, seeing the inappropriate behavior that she displayed in front of this young girl who, I mean, now she's like 25, so she's not, the minor that she used to be. But seeing the inappropriate behaviors that Amber displayed in front of this young girl is pretty disgusting. It's pretty disgusting. It reminds me actually a little bit of Shane Dawson and his at one time girlfriend, and their appropriateness with young people. And I won't even, I don't care. I've heard about things that are going on in his and Ryland's life with their, I think they had twins or something, but they're just so disgusting. Shane Dawson is so disgusting that I don't care. I just ignore it. He doesn't exist in my world. And Amber, as much time that I have spent watching her, I don't want to watch her anymore. What I do enjoy is Beck. They're just an interesting person. They have always been really good with telling stories. And I just really like Beck, so I watch Beck. And I was introduced to Beck through Amber. So I keep in touch with Amber's world through people like The Ankle, Karina Kaboom, even Mr. Snowflake / Under the Hood. In the past, I've criticized him for being almost too mean, especially regarding Foodie Beauty. But I don't know. I kind of like him. I think his sense of humor is really good. I think that he's fun to watch. So I keep him out there and I watch him from time to time too, because he does. I like different reaction channels because they have different aspects, different thoughts, different feelings on what they're seeing, and I think it's interesting. It makes for a more well-rounded perception. So I go with a few different people. There's some reaction channels I just don't watch, and it's just because they're not my thing. That's all. But those are a few of the ones that I do like to watch. So I have kept up with what's going on in girl world through them. Now with Foodie Beauty, I don't watch her at all anymore. Even when my favorite reaction channels do a video on her, I don't watch. It's very rare. Sometimes I'll go to Garlic Bread, because he'll just do like a quick recap, and that's okay sometimes, but honestly, I just don't care about her anymore. I don't like her. I think she's a detestable human being. And as much as I don't like her, I will say there is one thing about her that I will give her, even though she did it in a very irresponsible way. When she decided to get rid of her cats, she found people to give her cats to take care of them. Did she do it in a good way? No. But she didn't just open the door and let them adventure themselves to death, right? So at least Foodie Beauty did that. But her attacks on Beck and her supporting Amber is just questionable at best, because she hates Amber. And I just don't like her. I just don't watch her. I used to watch her way back when she was with BB. I did watch quite a bit of her during her drugged out days with Nader, whatever the hell, I don't care. Natter. Just because it was pretty wild and interesting to watch, I guess. But now I just don't care. I don't care about her. I don't care about her supposed fake husband, whatever he is. She can do whatever she wants. I don't think she's going to be around for much longer, in my opinion. But I just don't care. I was just surprised that she was talking up about Beck. What does she have against Beck? Listening to Beck's videos on what they did for Amber, I had no idea. Beck really was a caretaker for Amber. And Amber just treated Beck like garbage. Now, could you see that in the videos to some degree? Yes. But I didn't really realize the extent of it. And then for Amber to say, oh, Beck didn't do anything for me. It's like, Beck took care of you. Beck washed you. Beck wiped you. Beck kept your hair from being all knotted up. Beck, at least tried. Beck shopped for you, cleaned the house. Beck did everything so that Amber could sit on her big old butt and do nothing and troll people and laugh at people. Honestly, Amber is the most pathetic creature there is in girl world. At least to my knowledge, if Foodie Beauty wanted to, she could at least clean herself. She's not well known for doing that, but she could. Amber doesn't seem to even be able to do that. And yet Amber treats the people that help her like they're just hired help. What the hell is that? Honestly, Amber owes Beck a lot. And I just don't mean respect. I mean compensation. Beck did everything for her. It makes me more angry with Amber than ever. It makes me not want to watch her, not want to cover her. The fact that she has conveniently allowed 2 cats to go adventure into the world. She did that on purpose. That I don't believe for a second that Amber let Rarity out by accident. Maybe by accident on purpose. She did it hoping that Rarity would leave. She didn't care about that cat. She was going to give the cat to Beck. She didn't care about that cat. She used the cat as a means to an end that didn't work out for her. She wanted to stay with Emily/Tommy. And it didn't work, and she still went home. She doesn't give 2 craps about that beautiful little cat. The fact that she didn't want Alexis and her girlfriend to come help look for the cat. What the hell is that about? It's just... Amber is just disgusting. She's disgusting physically. She's disgusting inside and out. She's just a vile, vile person. Which is why I often compare her to Gypsy Rose Blanchard, because she is also a filthy, disgusting human being. Now, is she physically dirty like Amber? I don't know. I'm guessing probably not. But the way that they both damage people mentally and emotionally is just disgusting. And honestly, hearing this new stuff about Amber and her inappropriateness with minor children, especially girls, I don't want to talk about her at all. She doesn't seem to do anything, like, she doesn't seem to actually do anything. She talks about it. She doesn't actually do anything. Whereas, somebody like Gypsy Rose will do things, obviously, like, get rid of her mother. She got rid of Ryan and Pixie real easy. Walked away. That was it. Done. Amber is very much the same way. If you can't do something for her, then she has no interest in you. That goes for girlfriends. That goes for friends. I wonder about the strained relationship between her and her mother, because her mother is aware of the fact that she made a lot of horrible mistakes when Amber was growing up. But I think Amber treats her mother like garbage and sees her mother as being beneath her as well. And that's not how you handle a relationship between family. She just goes about, she just wants to punish and punish and punish. And that's not going to be helpful for anybody. And I think her mother might understand that, but she still loves her daughter. And I respect Mama Lynn 100% for that. She understands, she's taken accountability for her mistakes, and she's really trying to be patient with Amber, because she knows that she's part of the reason why Amber may be the way she is. May or may not. I don't know. Amber had a tough childhood. What that tough childhood was is always questionable, because Amber's her stories change constantly. We do know for a fact that her mother and father were drug addicts, and we do know that for a time she was in foster care. That much we know. Everything else, questionable. Particularly the whole her being abused by adults when she was a child. I find that incredibly questionable, because the way she goes about things, it doesn't add up. I always try to give her the benefit of the doubt, but she's changed her story so many times. And yes, when you have a troubled childhood, sometimes it's hard to get names and dates and things straight. But the basic story is always going to be the same. You may not quite remember the time frame, but you remember what occurred. And that's what bothers me about her, is her stories don't add up. They don't make any sense. And her attitude towards things, it doesn't make any sense either. It doesn't seem to ring true, the way that she acts about things. And I believe that if she were able, then she would become a predator too. She definitely would be grooming. But she's just so lazy and so pathetic and so sad that she just wouldn't follow through with it unless they came to her. And even then, she can barely move. I think the only thing that would ever happen from it is she would say a bunch of inappropriate things, and then they'd wipe her ass and wash her up and take her to bed. I mean, honestly, that's Amber's life now, I believe. I just find her so filthy and disgusting, like I said, inside and out, that talking about her, it's not fun anymore. It should be. People that are so absolutely awful should be talked about. One of the reasons why I like talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard so much is because people need to know her true nature so that we can, have justice in her case. Because I don't think justice was done. And so I like to talk about her just to put out that information so that other people can investigate for themselves and not just listen to her words and assume she's telling the truth, even though she constantly contradicts herself. Yeah, I think it, but with Amber's case, I don't know that it's important. Do people really need to know she is a homebody? She only leaves the house when her mother comes to pick her up and take her somewhere. She doesn't do anything. She speaks a lot of garbage, but so do a lot of people. Who cares? I don't think she's capable of doing anything. She's not even capable of taking care of herself. Or at least with Beck, she just made Beck do it because she didn't feel like it. I don't know. Maybe she liked being waited on. And unfortunately, Beck was willing to do that. I think Beck, just for doing that, I think Beck is an amazing human being. She's a good person to have around. And Amber was very lucky. Sorry, they are a good person to have around. I apologize. But I think Amber didn't know how amazing Beck was. I don't think she'll ever really understand that, but Beck is the kind of person that you want in your life, you want as a friend, you want as a partner, because Beck is 100% there for the people they love. Amber will never understand that. Amber is just a despicable, subhuman being. She, like Gypsy, they're just not human. They're something. They're monsters. They're nothing more. So, I don't know in the future if I will be talking much about Amber, because she just disgusts me too much. She's just gross in every way. And this whole thing about her and inappropriateness with, young people, it just further solidifies the fact that I don't really want to know about her, talk about her. I will still watch reaction channels because I like them, because I find them humorous, and I no longer, when it comes to Amber, I no longer care what they say. They can make fun of every aspect of her weight, her uncleanliness, of her personality or lack thereof, her lack of character. They can make fun of all of it. I think it's all there, everything. She's just a trash monster, and I don't hold anything against any of them. But yeah, they're fun. Even if they have trash to talk about, they make it fun, interesting, and I like that. So I will continue to watch the reaction channels. But what happens with Amber, I just don't care. I don't care. Besides, Beck returning to YouTube as they have, Beck is interesting, has a great character, has a great personality. I like Beck. So I'll just watch Beck's videos. And if they throw out some tea, great. It'll give me something to amuse myself with. That's awesome. But Amber is not worth watching. There's nothing about her. It's a big hollow shell of a monster. And that's why I haven't really talked about her, because I don't want to. Same with Foodie Beauty. The only redeeming quality was that she found people to take her 2 cats. And even then it was questionable. But yeah, other than that, she treated her pets badly. She's a bad person. And I have absolutely no interest in her or Salah. I don't care what they do. And Gypsy, I will continue to talk about her because people need to be aware. They need to be warned. And we need to get justice done when it comes to her. And if there's other people like Gypsy, I'll talk about them too, because people need to be aware, they need to watch out, and they need to get the Justice Department in and do something about people like Gypsy. Amber is self-destructing. She will probably be gone in a few years. Her view count has gone down, way down, because nobody cares anymore. They're sick of her crap. Gypsy actually is very similar. People are getting really sick of her too. She's just, a horrible human being. And sometimes it's fun to laugh at a horrible human being. And sometimes when they're being horrible, you just don't want to anymore. They're just horrible. But people need to know about Gypsy. I think that's important. Anyway, there's my little rant for the day. I do want to say a very big thank you to all my new subscribers, because, oh my goodness, I jumped up quite a bit. Who knows? I might even have enough subscribers that I can, make some money off this thing. It's just a hobby for me, but that would be cool, So thank you very much for getting me up there. I really appreciate that. It's kind of neat to see a subscriber count going up like that. It's kind of fun. I like it. And I like that you are enjoying my videos, and I really appreciate the information and knowledge that a lot of you have shared in my comments section, especially just giving me info on pregnancy and the cortisone shots that you take to help the baby in the womb to develop their lungs and stuff before you give birth, when there is a risk of giving birth too early or complications. All the mothers out there, thank you. I think it's really good. It's good to give out that kind of information to let people know what it's all about. And it just, helps you going forward. So if somebody's telling a story, you can identify with it, you can understand it, or you have reason to question it when it's somebody like Gypsy, because they never give any real info. There's always something lacking in her stories, and I think that's intentional. I think she likes to keep things vague so that when she knows how to correct them, she will, but vague enough where it may be harder to detect that she's lying. She seems to be really good at that. It's a nice little way to kind of cover up, so you don't show your hand right away. You don't know that she's lying because she's so vague. It's hard to know. But anyway, I thank you all for giving me those insights. It's really nice, not just for me, but for anybody who reads them. Those are things that not everybody knows. So it's nice that you're sharing and talking about it. I appreciate it a lot. I really do. And I'm also very thankful of these stories that were many years ago. And the kids have grown up and are doing really well. I love to hear that as well. It makes me feel good. So, keep those comments coming. Sorry if this was a little ranty, but I don't know. I've been under the weather, and so I just haven't really done a lot. I still have to work, of course, but beyond work, I've just been doing a lot of resting because I've just been tired. But you guys, you really keep my spirits up and going, and I love continuing the conversations with you in the comments. It really makes my day. I hope it does something for you too. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a nice day, and that's all I got to say.